Ready. Play.
Let's talk about the player who it's a story that she didn't win Roland Garros. It's Iga Swiatek, because she lost to Arina Sabalenka in the semi-finals. Where do you see Iga Swiatek at now, James, post-French Open? She's now the world number 7. She hasn't won a tournament in 12 months. But was there glimmers of optimism from the semi-final run?
I certainly would say so. I mean, she was given a bit of a rotter of a draw, even in the fifth seeding slot. Okay, first couple of round opponents she was able to get through fairly well, but then of course getting Rybakina in the fourth round, coming through that match was incredibly impressive to be able to do that, especially when she lost the first set. What was it, 6-1, and then there was 2-love down. There was 2-love down in the second, and it was looking as though Iga was going to get knocked out pretty comfortably. To be able to come through that, then come through Slitovina, then to put on a half-decent performance against Sabalenka in the semis. She can certainly walk away from the tournament knowing everything that had been said going into it, all the pressure, all this expectation that she was going to lose, and there was going to be this big drop. That she at least tried her best to defy those expectations from people, and she can walk away going, okay, I haven't defended the title. I still proved I can play a really strong level on this surface, and hey, you never know, if that roof wasn't on against Sabalenka, she may have actually found a way to have won that match in the end, and that just those stiller conditions just helped Arena in those in that match. And it's, I think now for her it's about now trying to rebuild, certainly trying to find that strong level on hard courts now, certainly on quicker hard courts, and potentially even actually to make a proper stab at grass, even though I know she's not down for any real tournaments though between now and Wimbledon. But there is, there's lots of opportunities for her now to be, I heard somebody say, like, she's no longer the hunted, she's the huntee, and she can hunt, and she can now look to try and regain those positions back. She's 4th in the race, which will help her in terms of to sort of climb up the rankings, fairly quickly. And it's now seeing if she can go off and try and get some big victories, try and starting to win some titles again, and has got such good building blocks to rebuild that game.
She's only got 1,000 points-ish to defend until the end of the year now. So the only way is kind of up for her, unless she crashes out first round of every tournament, which I don't see her doing. By the way, I do detect some bad Homburg shade from you there, James, with your comment about no real.
You there?
Sorry?
She going there then? Is she?
Yeah, she's playing bad Homburg.
Oh, missed that. Sorry about that. That's a minus point for me.
But looking at the rankings now, she's actually the 4th seed there. Crazily, unless, well, there's some players in that tournament who are also playing Berlin, like Pagula.
Well, I will give Bad Homburg a bit of shade because it's nicked the 500 title that Eastbourne had in the same week. Eastbourne's now 250, so I'll give it. We'll give it a tad of bit of shade.
I think Queen's nicked it because the LCA won 500 tournaments. So I agree. I think there's potential for Iga to rebuild. I was very pleased by how she fought back against Rybakina and how she dealt with Svitolina. There were definite signs that she was kind of back. And even those first couple sets against Arina Sabalenka, I think that semi-final could have been a match of the year contender had not the final set happened. And even then, I would still argue for it based on Arena's level in that final set, because Arena made no unforced errors. Compare that to the final. And Arena kind of stole that first set, but that was a winnable match for Iga, even in Arena kind of stole the first set a little bit. And I guess she's got to look at that and not look at how she was in the final set, because that was the one alarm bell, was how she kind of unraveled a little bit in the last set. Didn't just sort of like knew the missed opportunities and took too long to reset as Arena was just maintaining such a high level. If she can dismiss that and just go, right, that's fine, that's done. I was happy with the rest. She's happy with the rest of the level of this tournament. Watch out, Tor, because she's going to come back and she's going to make that top 3 with Sabalenka and Goff. For me, it's a question of when, not if, she breaks this slump. Hey, topsy-turvy year, right? She doesn't win a title up until doesn't win a title for a year, doesn't win a title on clay. Would it be that crazy to suddenly win something on grass?
No, it certainly wouldn't. I mean, nobody would have expected Jasmine Paolini to get to the Wimbledon final, or for Barbora Krejcikova to have won Wimbledon last year. So, grass is this surface where, some years, absolute mayhem and carnage can take place. And, if a draw opens up, if she gets the right opponent, you never know. We could see her deep in the second week at Wimbledon. And, by that stage, the baseline of a grass court tends to act more, certainly more like a hard court. And there's opportunities for her maybe to maybe even, get to the final, even win Wimbledon. I mean, it's still a bizarre. It's one of those bizarre Pandora's boxes with Iga, which is she won Junior Wimbledon as her Junior Wimbledon title, yet really hasn't had that tournament as her best tournament for results yet. And it just seems bizarre that Iga should based off what she's done when she was younger should be good on grass and just hasn't really shown it yet.
Do you know the story of the context of why she played that Junior Wimbledon?
No, but I know she played Emma Raducanu on the way to the final.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she crushed Emma Raducanu in the quarterfinals. I think Raducanu was the only name of note in that draw who kind of came out from that. But anyway, so she actually got to the semi-finals of the Junior French, and obviously everyone was tipping her to win it, and she lost. That was the year Goff won Junior Roland Garros, and Iga was so annoyed that she missed the opportunity. She entered Junior Wimbledon and went on and absolutely crushed the field. So, parallels, maybe, clutching at straws a bit for Iga fans. I don't know, but there's an interesting parallel here, and there's a storyline potentially brewing here that I like the look of. Regardless, even if that doesn't happen, I think the Iga Renaissance is on its way, and I think that Roland Garros tournament showed that for her. I certainly don't really have any criticisms of her from any of those matches, barring that final set, and even then, I think Sabalenka just made that situation worse.
Yeah, that final set will, it will be a bit of an annoyance. I mean, the credit we do have to give to Sabalenka is that I think she had no unforced errors at all in that final set. And basically, when you're coming up against somebody who's basically hit a purple patch like Sabalenka can do indoors, you just got roll with the punches, and it just wasn't anything for Iga to be able to do to get over that. And as I said, if the tournament was played, if it was outdoors, when how the tournament should usually be played, then that final set could have gone a bit differently, and Iga could have potentially have really got stuck into that final set, and you never know, it could have been another Swiatek final.
And then who knows, because the Coco Gauff she would have gotten that final was way better than the Coco Gauff she got 3 years ago. So we're not going to automatically handle the trophies Aryna Sabalenka did.
No, I mean, Gauff has also regularly beaten Swiatek over the last 3 or 4 occasions. So the momentum swing is now in sort of Gauff's favour when she does play Swiatek.
And we always thought that was going to happen, right? Given how young Gauff is, it would have been crazy if that was how the rivalry continued throughout their careers. So I think Gauff and Iga is going to be a lot closer now, but I think Iga will get another win over her at some point. I certainly don't see, as just to answer a point from Jake that's in the live chat, that I don't see Iga dominating like she did in 2022 again. I think she's going to be, when she gets back to the top, she's going to be in a fight with the other players at the top of the game.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.